Dr. Dillingham, do I look white to you?
Hey everyone, so you just saw that snippet. Do I look white to you? This is the exact moment where a serious policy discussion completely goes off the rails and turns into pure personal political theater. We're about to watch a clip from a House Oversight Committee hearing. You've got Representative Rashida Tlaib, a key member of the squad, a group that has proven time and time again to be anti-American, and obviously a very vocal critic of the Trump administration, and she is questioning the U.S. Census Director Stephen Dillingham. The issue is a box on the 2020 census for people of Middle Eastern or North African men descent. But as you just saw, Tlaib isn't here to just talk about policy. She is here to create a viral moment by asking a completely personal, unanswerable gotcha question. This isn't a hearing. It's a political battle. She's playing one game, and the census director is playing a totally different one. Before we watch the full thing, if you like seeing these political games broken down, hit that subscribe button. And I want to know your gut reaction. Do you think that's a fair question to ask a government official, or is it a political cheap shot meant to bait him? Let me know in the comments. All right, let's watch this whole thing.
In 2015, Director, the category went into the field for testing, and based on the findings, the Census Bureau recommended the inclusion of MENA category in the 2020 census. Despite these findings, however, the Census Bureau announced under the current administration that MENA category would not be included in the census. Dr. Dillingham, do I look white to you?
Congresswoman, I think that if you tell me what you identify with, and I think I would respect that.
Sure. So, Dr. Director, are you aware that people like me who are Arab, Middle Eastern, North African have to indicate that they're white on the U.S. Census?
Congresswoman, we actually have on the, and I understand, you know, that there was a process in deciding, certainly before I got to the census, and there's a history to coming up with the questions and the race and ethnicity categories, and that OMB...
No, they ignored it. Director, before you... But they ignored it. The previous administration decided to put MENA on the form. They ignored it. But do you think if I circled white category, that would be an accurate depiction of my racial and ethnic background?
Congresswoman, we do not second guess what you put on, what you put down there. And we do have a write-in. We do have a write-in.
Director, you're not giving me an option, because let me tell you, there's a reason why the recommendation happened. Sure. Because would circling white on the census change my lived experience as a person of color in our country, right? Even saying that, you understand there's a difference when you actually have the checkoff box. Right. Because the MENA community, like others, relies on accurate census representation for health research, Director, certainly, language assistant, civil rights laws, and reporting educational outcomes. In addition, it would help address things like crime reporting, Director, helping minority business owners get loans, and drawing congressional and state legislative boundaries. So, Director, do you believe it is important to better collect racial and race information from census participants of Middle Eastern and North African descent?
Congresswoman,
do you believe that, though?
I can say that by having the write-in provision, that is the
Sir,
option.
it doesn't have the same impact, and you know that. You know that. No. That's why the community pushed to add the category of MENA, and they did it right. They went through the process, and they got it approved. And this administration decided to ignore them and to make them invisible again, right? That's what you're doing. You're making us invisible. No, the continued absence of this ethnic category contributes to erasing us. Our living, working, we all live and work and raise our families here. I truly believe this issue needs to be addressed, and we need your leadership to push back against this current administration's lack of wanting to see people like me being represented on an official government federal form that decides around funding, decides how they're going to treat us, how they're going to approach health research, language assistance, all those kinds of things. And I mean, you know, Director, we need to get it right, because I'm not white. I'm not. And I don't just, try to say to others that you should be this or that. Sure. But when I sit on this form and I look at it, I don't see myself represented on this form. And I think that's a huge issue for people like me. Sure. And I need you to do more in pushing back against this current administration, ignoring what the previous administration was able to do. And the U.S. Census Bureau decided to add MENA, and they ignored it.
Congressman, I can assure you that we continue to study race and ethnicity and the options for self-reporting that.
Director?
And let me just say that
But we've been
want your
studied enough.
we want your views, and we're beginning the process of looking at the 2030 census.
Okay, we've all seen it. Let's just call that question, do I look white to you? What it is not a question. It is a trap. It is a gotcha question designed for one thing and one thing only, to create a viral clip. It is not designed to get an answer or solve a problem. It's designed to make the other person look bad. Think about it. What is this guy, this bureaucrat, supposed to say? He's on air. He's a statistician. If he says no, you don't, he's agreeing with her entire political premise. If he says yes, according to the form, he's going to be clipped all over the internet as racist or being insensitive. He is completely, totally cornered, and she knows it. That's the point. This is pure political performance. It has nothing to do with legislating or oversight. It's for the camera. It's to show her base that she's fighting. And notice how she will not let him talk. She interrupts him every single time he tries to explain the process. She literally cuts him off when he says there was a process. She doesn't want a discussion. She's there to make a statement. You're making us invisible. This is a tactic. It's a way to steamroll the actual boring details of government and replace them with raw emotion. Now look at Director Dillingham. This guy is in an impossible spot, and he does exactly what a smart person is trained to do. He doesn't take the bait. His answers are 100% process. We have a history of these questions. This was decided before I got here, and his main safe ground answer, we have a write-in option. From a purely bureaucratic standpoint, he's giving the correct official safe answer. He's trying to de-escalate to stay on safe legal ground, and to avoid getting into a personal racial argument with a member of Congress, who is clearly looking for a fight. He's not playing her emotional game. He's playing the procedural one. This is about data. Data is power. And in Washington, data is money. Billions of dollars are allocated based on this stuff. She's arguing the write-in option is a joke because that data isn't clean. It gets lumped in with white, and therefore her community doesn't exist on paper. If you don't exist on paper, you don't get the funding. So she's using an emotional personal hammer to force a policy change. Dillingham is just trying to explain the rules as they exist. It's a total clash. She's an activist fighting for her deluded cause, and he's an administrator. Clay, like AOC, believes ranting and baiting will make her win over the American people. But we all know her game, and we are not falling for it. This is Democrats in a nutshell. It's not about finding a solution. It's about winning the argument for the cameras. And that's exactly what she did. What did you think? Was this a brave question, or was it a new low for political theater? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next.